Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at McFarlane's DC Direct, the new Batman Adventures Scarecrow. This is part of the fourth wave of the new Batman Adventures figures. Scarecrow was redesigned and was almost the only character that had a pretty good redesign. I purchased this guy from the McFarlane toy store. He arrived today, so let's take a look at the package. As you can see at the top, McFarlane Toys, age 12 plus, Scarecrow. Based off his appearance in the new Batman Adventures, here he is in the package. Looks like we have a bunch of alternate hands, an animation cell reproduction, and a display stand. One side of the package, Scarecrow posed up. Other side, Scarecrow. At the back, here he is posed up from the cartoon, and at the bottom, there's his barcode, if that helps. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And of course, I did get two of these Scarecrow figures. One I wish to open and enjoy, the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman and related unopened action figure collection. And here's this McFarlane release of the Scarecrow compared to the DC Direct version from almost 10 years ago. Looks like we're missing some accessories. This guy here came with a little staff, looks like a little fear gas container, and some sort of gun. Now I understand McFarlane can't release guns because Warner Brothers has a no-gun policy, but the other accessories, and I did get the entire bundle from McFarlane Toy Store. Between utilizing the bundle discount, the coupon code, my Platinum membership discount, I got all of these figures for significantly less than retail even after taxes and shipping. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. We have a display stand, an animation cell reproduction, and then 6 alternate hands, totaling 8 interchangeable hands. He is missing 3 accessories the original came with. 1 is his walking stick, 2 is a little gun, I assume shoots fear toxin, and 3 is like a little canister. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I can understand they wouldn't be allowed to include the gun, but there's no reason he can't have his little cane walking stick or the little fear gas canister. So this is Scarecrow from the new Batman Adventures. That's Season 4 of Batman the Animated Series, where all the different characters are redesigned. The budget was cut back, so the animation got a little worse. Scarecrow is one of the only ones that maybe looks better. He might be the only one that most people consider look better. I do enjoy the Batman the Animated Series Scarecrow, but this guy's pretty cool too. He's really creepy, really sick, so let's take a look. Starting with this face here. The face is kind of weird. Looks very creepy, sort of monsterish. I guess it's a burlap sack on his head. I can see sort of the bottom around his neck. He has a noose around his neck too. Implies a lot of stuff. He's got a little hat, got a rubbery bill, really long lengthy arms. The body has a really weird shape, super wide up top and gets very thin as it goes lower. Gives me some sort of Beetlejuice vibes a little bit. Open up the jacket, you can see a sort of brown shirt, very thin legs, single jointed knees, single jointed elbows, kind of long hair here. I like him. He looks cool. He looks creepy. There are many different ways a Scarecrow can look, and this is definitely one of them. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, it's kind of like Jonah Hex meets Leatherface. Pretty weird and creepy looking. And here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's look at his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's the animation cell reproduction. As you can see, it's an image of Scarecrow from the new Batman Adventures. So, this is the animation cell for the Scarecrow figure. And on the back, it says the episode is Beware the Creeper, which is not the episode that's representing. Scarecrow is not in that episode in any way, shape, or form. And the synopsis describes Killer Croc and Baby Doll. So the front is from a Scarecrow episode, the back has the wrong episode, and then it has the wrong description, and the wrong description is not even the same description for the wrong episode. God, how could they mess that up so bad? Here's his display stand, and they messed that up too. Poor quality control, and I don't care at all about display stands, but we have this sort of clamp for your figure, and that's supposed to be up at the top to hold your figure, but it's too loose. It just falls all the way down. So not going to be a very effective display stand like this. Luckily, I don't care about this accessory whatsoever. And then let's check out his hands. He has a total of 8 of them, 4 right hands and 4 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Here's his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. Here's his third pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands specifically designed to hold his walking stick. The walking stick that this figure did not come with. And here's his last pair of hands. They look like there's some large sort of grabbing hands, maybe choking or throwing hands. Of the 3 missing accessories, the walking stick was the only one I could easily find. I could find the others if I spent more time doing it. It's just a little stick. I didn't really need another one, but I prefer to have had it than to not have it. And I'd rather have those accessories than all those useless hands. And here he is, holding that little stick or staff. Now to check out the differences and similarities between this new McFarlane's Scarecrow and the original DC Direct version from about 10 years ago. It is 100% the same figure, same sculpt, same articulation, but a little bit of a different paint job. And typically with these McFarlane re-releases, I find the quality of plastic is a little better, but the paint job is inferior. So let's take a look. Start with their faces. It's pretty much the same thing. The main difference I see is the shirt underneath. His is gray, and his seems to be more of sort of a brown color. The skin, a little bit more pale in the original version. Beyond that, not too many differences. I mean, the jacket has maybe a subtle bit darker from the old one, but barely noticeable. Both creepy, both cool, both Scarecrow. Now that I've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 6.2 inches tall, which can translate to just under 16 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, it can rotate side to side. Can look up and down just the tiniest. Oh, there we go, a little bit more. Freed that up. Up and down like this, rotation. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out about 90 degrees, but makes the shoulder look really weird. Up, down, around. Single jointed elbow, goes in about 90 degrees with rotation. He can rotate at the forearm here. Torso, one solid piece. He has a waist swivel below that. Legs. They do the splits, but they look hideous when you pull them like that. Go forward, not much at all. Back, even less. Single jointed knee does not go back very far either. And the ankle. Forward and back. Tilt rock. There is rotation there as well. Here's a look at the Scarecrow walking through a graveyard, doing Scarecrow type things. Now let's check them out. Next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Scarecrow figures. Here's this McFarlane version of the new Batman Adventures Scarecrow, next to the original DC Direct version. And here he is, next to 3 different versions of the Batman the Animated Series Scarecrow. The original DC Direct on the left, and then McFarlane's versions on the right. And here he is, with all of my McFarlane DC Multiverse Scarecrow figures. Then, with all of my DC Direct Scarecrow figures, and I think there's 2 of them that I don't have. And now, with my Mattel Scarecrow figures. Here he is, next to a Mafex Scarecrow figure. Next, with a couple of older Kenner Scarecrow figures. Here's a look at all the different Scarecrow figures in my collection. The next one I'm getting is probably going to be the Mafex Hush Scarecrow. I believe I have all of them in the 6 and 7 inch scale, except I think there are 2 DC Direct versions I'm missing. I think Dark Victory and the Super Friends version. Definitely would like to add those to the collection eventually. Now let's check them out with some figures I use for Scarecrow Henchman. Here he is, next to some older Toy Biz Spider-Man the Animated Series Jack-O-Lantern figures. I thought Jack-O-Lantern was for a pretty good Scarecrow Henchman. He's got the pumpkin, sort of fiery appearance. Just works in my head. I got these 2 way back in the day when there weren't a lot of options for henchmen, figure substitutes. And then when Toy Biz started making 6-inch Marvel Legends figures, they made a much better version of Jack-O-Lantern. This looks like a great Scarecrow henchman. And eventually, Hasbro made some of their own versions of Jack-O-Lantern. Got 3 of those also. And Hasbro recently made some 6-inch versions of the animated Jack-O-Lantern. Got 3 of those also. Army building at its finest. When McFarlane started making Fortnite figures, they made Skull Trooper, and I thought, that is an excellent Scarecrow henchman. So I got 4 of them. They are 7 inches, so they don't fit in with this Scarecrow that well, but they fit in great with the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. These guys are by McFarlane as well. McFarlane also made the Green Glow Skull Trooper. I got 4 of those as well. And then Jazzwares started making 6-inch scale Fortnite figures. They made the Purple Skull Trooper. At this point, had to keep going. Got 4 of those as well. These guys fit in pretty good size-wise with the animated figures. Then Jazzwares released the traditional looking Skull Trooper. Got 4 of those also. Jazzwares also made the inverted Skull Trooper. And you can't stop at that point. Army building at its finest. I also have a couple of these Plan B Toys military guys. They have red outfits and that sort of Scarecrow mask from the Arkham Knight. These are some Arkham Knight Scarecrow henchmen. Now let's check them out next to some other DC Direct animated figures. Here he is next to the rest of his wave. This is based off the New Batman Adventures, and this is Series 4. Blue and Gray Batman, Scarecrow, and the Riddler. And here he is next to the third wave, which consisted of the Creeper, Firefly, and Anti-Fire Batman. Then, next to the second wave of the New Batman Adventures figures, Joker, Bane, Nightwing, and Catwoman. And now, with the first wave of the New Batman Adventures figures, both versions of Batgirl, Batman, Killer Croc and Baby Doll, and then Two-Face. This is the only wave of the New Batman Adventures that had a Platinum Chase variant. I'm surprised waves 2 through 4 haven't had one as well. Here's Scarecrow, next to the New Batman Adventures Girls Night Out 3-pack. This is an Amazon exclusive with Poison Ivy, Livewire, and Supergirl. Then, next to the Best Buy exclusive, the New Batman Adventures Legends of the Dark Knight 3-pack with the Mutant Leader, Batman, and Carrie Kelly Robin. Here's Scarecrow, next to the most recent Batman the Animated Series wave, Batgirl, Lightning Strike Batman, Christmas Joker, Two-Face, Collected Build, Maxi Zeus. These are Target exclusives, and they're cel-shaded. And finally, next to McFarlane's Batman Beyond offerings, a couple Terry McGinnis Batman figures, Old Man Bruce Wayne, and Ace the Bat Hound. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a DC Direct animated figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my larger. Here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. And now, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends and Mafex figures. Here's Scarecrow, next to a box of toothpicks. And here he is, with some Mattel and Mezco DC figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some NECA and DC Direct figures. Next, with some Diamond Select toys and Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. And finally, with some McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. So overall, it's a pretty cool Scarecrow figure, but he has plenty of flaws. Mainly the articulation, and the size, and the lack of accessories. His articulation is limited, single jointed elbows, single jointed knees. The hip articulation is awful. The figure looks pretty cool. He's creepy looking, based off a pretty good reinterpretation of Scarecrow for the New Batman Adventures. The accessories, he damn sure should have come with the Fear canister and the walking stick. I understand, maybe not the gun. Sculpt and paint job are excellent, no issues there. If I were to rate this figure, I want to give him like a 7, but he's just not worth it. The figure has so many limitations on the articulation. Gonna have to give him a 6. He does a cool design for Scarecrow, and it makes for a pretty cool figure, but he definitely has some flaws. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say to the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.